Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's me and OMONDI Juma. It's Monday night. No game tomorrow. No game on Wednesday. But look, we've got a game on Thursday, so we'll have the preview. But today we're discussing the Bruno conundrum. A lot of people hate him. A lot of people love him. I'm one of the people who love him, to be fair. Find out what OMONDI thinks about him anyway. Guys, this is the Man United agenda. It's a Monday night, and we've got a little discussion show going on. Let's get the show started. Yes, Mr. Juma, how are we, sir?
Yeah, Mr. B, how are you, sir? It was good to see you this evening, especially when we just come off a good win and we're in the final as well. So I'm feeling good about that. Regardless, I know a lot of people talking about the semi-final, and say, oh, you know, Brighton might have been a better team. But at the end of the day, we got through. And on penalties as well, I think that's something massive for us, because there was a stat going around, wasn't there, that there's out of the last 8 penalty shootouts, we've lost 7 of them, apparently, which is really bad, you know. But I just want to say credit to the players, because forget the goalkeeper. The players done well by burying their penalties. And that's what I like to see. There's even guys stepping up, Mr. B, that I'm sure, if you watch the watch along with Mr. B, I'm sure Mr. B was nervous as well. Lindelof stepping up. Sancho had me, like, worried. You know when you can usually say, he's going to miss. I was like, he's going to miss. You can see by his face. So there's a few players that stood up and I thought, oh, God, they're going to miss. But they've done the business. Even Sabitzer.
Yeah, I love him. I mean, I've got to ask you something about it. Our goalkeeping situation with penalties. I mean, it is a good job that we did, that the boys did the business, because De Gea, he went, he was looking in his bag, and I'm hearing today that he was doing it to psych out the players, to make them think that he knew something. Yeah. And he still dived the wrong way. I've never seen a goalie can just consistently go the wrong way in a penalty shootout. But yeah, look, we are through. But Jesus, man, what are you thinking?
I'm just thinking, yeah, obviously it's an issue for me, because as a goalkeeper, all I want you to do is die. Like, you got to put this, you got to go down the middle, which not many people are going to do, or you can go left or right. And I think if you start, for me, it's a psychological warfare. I think what De Gea did do in the last penalty, he went up to check the penalty spot and put the guy off a little bit by standing there saying, oh, the penalty spot's a bit dodgy or something like that. But really putting his presence there and slowly coming back, so the goal becomes really small. But all I want to see a goalie do is dive, go one way and commit and go one way. And then that way it makes the guy think, okay, he's going one way, I've got to go the other way or something. And then it becomes a lottery. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like Russian roulette. And you're going to get found out. But I remember Peter Shilton in 1990 when we had a penalty shootout against Germany. And Peter Shilton was a great goalkeeper. I mean, 10, 12 years before that, he was winning European Cup with Nottingham Forest. He was the best goalkeeper throughout the 80s. You know, he's 40 years old when he got to the finals World Cup. And he couldn't save a penalty for love of money.
He used to fall over he didn't even dive. He used to just fall.
And it's like, come on, you're supposed to be the best goalkeeper in the world. So I don't know. I just feel that if you go, you've got to commit yourself to go one way or the other. And even if you go completely wrong way, dive, so the next person comes up thinks, oh my God, he's covering the whole goal by going one way. So it's something that he needs to work on, because I don't get much confidence after what happened at Villarreal and I just think, wow, you're best shot stopper, but you don't get close to any of these penalties.
I mean, I don't understand why. His reactions are good. His reaction saves are still top draw. But yeah, but I was dead yesterday, man. That I was just so happy that Lindelof stepped up and scored that goal. I couldn't take going out on penalties, man. I mean, we didn't play well, granted, and we probably did deserve to lose. If you look at how the game went, they were better than we were in the cold light of day. But we're through. We take it, and we've now got a final to look forward to. Now, what happens in that final is a whole nother issue. That is,
Mr. B, let me give you a scenario. Let's take them to penalties, and then De Gea actually saves one, and we win it. I'll be happy. I'd be happy. Maybe he'd listen to the show. I'd be happy with that, because to be honest, it's daunting coming against the Man City side on that big pitch. I think it's going to be. It sounds really hard, but there's several reasons why we should be excited about it. We can start to do the treble, and we can get our second domestic cup of the season, and we can get the top four as well. There's so many things to look forward to going into the last sort of furlong this season, which I'm really excited about. Just want to touch on a few comments though, while we're on the penalty thing and the semi-final. Big up to FC Football United TV. Big up to Bill Badger as well. He's saying hi. Ed Mayhem, how you doing, man? Don't forget Ed Mayhem. Big dates coming up soon. Hopefully, I'll message you on Twitter and we can get this going, organised. Bath Time saying, talking about my hat looking like Sherlock Holmes, a reboot. I'd actually, what's he saying? Watson, Elementary Watson. Yes, Elementary Bath Time. Bill Badger saying, thought we'd done well. We were tired, overplayed, and short of first teamers. Big up to Vincent Bullock as well. He's saying, but the thing is, when they took them penalties, they were so readable that there was going to the goals left, the goalies left, which was our right-hand side. Yeah, they kept going that way, didn't they? I want to say hi to Jimmy Mack as well. And here's some insight into the notes that De Gea is reading. The notes were an absolute cop-out. Read the play and read the play and pose yourself. It's like them people outside an exam that haven't read a book, reading a summary, for sure. Everyone give Emma a wave. How you doing, Emma? She's saying, we put all the pens in the back of the net. They didn't deserve it. We did. James Mack saying, all the penalty takers did really well. It was an assured shootout. David De Gea is the best at penalties, that's for sure. Isn't the best at penalties, that's for sure. And I want to say hi to Stuart Marshall. He was at the game yesterday, so I'm sure he's buzzing more than us. And yeah, I was at Vincent was at the game as well. I was at the ground yesterday, and the United fans were absolutely buzzing. But what really let the fans down, the club giving us cardboard paper to hold up, and it was only top tier. I don't get that. Want to say hi to Santa Notch as well. Hello, guys. 6 weeks till the cup final. Lots of time to change mentality and be up for the City game. All right, there you go. That's over now. We move on. From the semi-final.
We will be moving on, to be fair. Guys, obviously we saw that Bruno had he had his ankle in ice. My opinion is that Bruno's going to be missed for however much games he plays or doesn't play for us. I'm hoping it's less than one. I'm hoping it's less than a few, but the way that his ankle, he actually had his ankle in the ice, I do worry. Now, just a couple of things about Bruno. He's 2019, 2020, 22 goals, 22 games, 12 goals. 2021 season, 58 games, 28 goals. 21, 22 season, 46 games, 10 goals. This season so far is 44 games and 10 goals. I haven't got the assists down, but you know that his vision is there or thereabouts. Another stat that we've got, his pass creation, his damage passing is second in the Premier League. His key passing is second in the Premier League. His assists per game is 7.8. Second in the Premier League again. I don't know who's first. I didn't look, to be fair. The one downside, and I have to put it out there, is that he's fourth in the Prem for waste passes at 378. Bar the last one, which I have to put in because I think it's only fair. I'm thinking that Bruno's going to be missed for the next game. Now, obviously, the topic of the show. Now, Monday, I'm glad you're here. We're trying to work out who's going to be the best combination. I've got Casemiro in there, obviously. I think that's a buy, but I know there's a couple of people in the chat who think Casemiro's come back and played like a bit of a pudding. So maybe it's a whole three. So help me out on Monday, man. Help me out. What we doing? What you thinking?
First of all, let me just say this about Bruno. You wonderful stats. The first season he came in, and the whole second season, or his first season playing from the start, because he came in January, didn't he? Really kicked off and started scoring and getting goals and assists. But the second season, that he's something like 48 and 20 plus goals or something. That's amazing, really, for a midfielder. I know Frank Lampard used to get lots of goals every season, but I haven't seen a player like that with that sort of numbers since Bruno's the sort of similar player, as in he gets those stats, he gets goals. And if he takes free kicks, if he's on penalties as well, it increases. But the last stat you mentioned there about giving away passes, I'm not too worried about that, to be honest, because when you look at our side, and we will know this because it's a week of contrast last week, wasn't it? You done 2 watch-alongs. One game with Bruno, one game without Bruno. And that's the contrast. We don't have anyone who can replicate what Bruno does. It's not just having the talent or get passing and that kind of thing. It's about getting behind, the work rate, the running ability. It's sort of overlooked a lot of the time that someone's so technical and who's someone, he's such a softie, he's always going down. But he's a hard man to me because he runs and runs and runs and runs and runs. And we miss him when he's not there. But I'm going to say to you, Mr. B, what happened at Seville the other day? Who was the biggest miss, to be honest? Because we missed Casemiro a couple of games, and we've been able just about to bring players in to do not what you can't replicate that, but just about get by. Bruno's big miss in Seville, don't you think?
Yeah, and I always think he's a massive miss, but you got to think about he doesn't get injured. He actually physically doesn't get injured. He's missed one game through illness that we know, and that was against Spurs. March 2022, when we actually did win the game 3-2 under Ranić. Ranić actually came out in the press conference and said that he didn't train the day before. So that's the only game that they have on record that he's missed through illness, not suspension. We know that, he likes to take a couple of yellow cards. I think he's on 12 this season, which is actually more than Casemiro. It's just that he was smart enough to spread these out, so he didn't miss too much games. We've got an issue on Monday. I'm going to put it to you. And guys in the chat, we've got an issue if Bruno's not playing. Help us out. Let us know what you're thinking and what 3 you're putting in. And don't just put names in. We want to hear some reasoning as well. I mean, Fred over Eriksen. Is anybody having Fred over Eriksen in there for legs?
That's an issue. I did say at Wembley, because Eriksen's just coming back to fitness. I love Eriksen. He's always over Fred for me. But we have to remember this as well. I think Bruno's been playing a lot deeper lately. Even yesterday, he was playing playing deeper than Eriksen. Eriksen was the furthest man forward at times. Obviously, they would rotate that, but it looked like Casemiro's sitting as a 1, and the 2 so-called 8s were Eriksen and Bruno. But Bruno, over the last few weeks, managers even quoted this, saying he's dropped him back a bit so he can lift his head up and start playing ball. And I think that was with the absence of Eriksen in that sort of midfield pivot. So I do think what Bruno gives us and what we're missing, and when we're asking who can replace this, is someone who can run and get in behind. So Martial, the forward, come deep to peel off, and someone could take in that space, occupy the space that he drags the defender out of, that sort of thing. Or he can go out wide and pick up the ball and whip in crosses, or get his head up and link up play. He's that sort of player all across the line. He gets the ball and he's always looking to link up. And this is why that stat comes up about him making passes, because he's the one who's been given the responsibility to make that penetration pass. Yeah, and that's fair enough. He's got the ability to do that. You know what I'm saying? I like to look at Eriksen. Eriksen, I think, is a bit more conservative, but he's left-footed, right-footed. He can do it all.
He's deadly.
Bruno, when you look at some of his assists this season, look at the Arsenal game, for example, at Old Trafford. Curled it out his feet, played in man, just really simply. Even the other day, playing in goals. I don't know, there's so many good assists out there from him this season. First-time passes, bringing people in, creating chances like that. So that's what you offer. But most of all, is the legs. So when I look around the squad, can Sabitzer do the same? He can't do the same as Bruno. Hasn't got the work rate, I don't think. He hasn't got the legs to get up and down or sprinting behind and time his runs in that respect. I don't think he's an equal. I think Eriksen is typically a number 10, but not anymore for me. I don't think he's got the legs to get him behind in that way. I think it's not like Italian football, slow, and you play off that number 10 and play off him in that sort of position where you just play through him. We play with a bit more width, and there's 3 guys instead now, and he's more of a number 6 or 8 now in the pivot. So if you're asking me how we go up against these games, we've got Villa, we've got Spurs, I would put Fred in there because Fred gets the work done. He gets him behind. And even if he goes behind and someone's thinking, it's only Fred, you still have to do it. You understand what I'm saying? So I would go with Fred as a runner to get in behind, and then have Ericsson and Casemiro in there. So Sabitzer, unfortunately for me, would miss out this time, even though he scored 2 beautiful goals, a brace the other day. What do you think? Because I'm going to go to the comments soon, Mr. B.
Yeah. Take the comments. Take the comments, because I don't want Solo to be sending me love messages now with big hearty hugs, because I'm going to say that maybe Fred, not saying Fred deserves a start, but he hasn't played for so long. I'm wondering if Ten Hag, he's the one or the couple who Ten Hag is now trying to phase out of the squad, if you know what I mean. Fred will always give his 100% effort, but his contract is up in a year.
Right.
There's no talk about a renewal. So is he going to be one who Ten Hag's thinking, okay, then maybe I could do without him. Maybe obviously Scott has been in and out, whether it's been injury, whether it's been whatever. Scott's been really in and out this season. He's been linked with a £50 million move to Newcastle, which, we can only pray and do a little dance in the sun for, hopefully, but as again, so.
But sorry, Mr. B, just to jump in there, I think he plays the strongest side, but the strongest side, I don't know, we don't have to agree on this, would be Ericsson and Casemiro and Bruno. So Fred doesn't get into that mix. He's probably next in line to play in one of those roles, but I don't think Fred or Sabitzer are good enough at the moment to beat those three in a midfield three, if that's what we're playing at the moment. The comments, just quickly. Box is saying Ericsson. We're talking about replacing. How do we replicate what Bruno does? Montreal FC, how you doing, man? MUFC saying 10 goals and 13 assists, 21% of all goal participants.
Jesus.
That's good. Jim Mack is saying Casemiro, Sabitzer, and Ericsson. That's the three. Okay, so he's even gone forward now. Said so the 2-8 should be Sabitzer and Ericsson. Okay, I get that. That works. That does work. I was maybe saying Fred instead of Sabitzer. Montreal saying Ericsson is a number 10 to shove one down the throats of his former club. Oh, God, yeah, he's playing against Spurs.
Oh, yeah.
Casemiro and Fred together to shield the back four. I don't know about Fred.
I see. Oh, yeah. That's the part that I'm worried about, because Fred doesn't have the creativity for me to play the number 10.
Yeah.
But he's got the work rate to, because when he came on the Brighton game.
Yeah.
And he sat on Caicedo. When he came on, to me, it looked like his job or his instruction was to sit on him. And that's what he done. To me, he's a Brazilian Park.
Yeah.
That he can play for instruction, but you're then playing 10 against 10. If you know what I mean, we shouldn't have to be playing 10 against 10. It should be them trying to get a player on Bruno, or them trying to get a player on Ericsson. Why? We're Man United, all right. We're still, why are we having to put, that's the part that Fred is a rat. Fred isn't a creator. He's not there to create stuff. He can't pass more than 5 yards, and even his 5-yard passes ain't no good. And every now and then, he's, although saying that, he's on 5 goals this season.
Yeah, but 2 of them were on the goal line when he scored. Last time saying here, maybe it's Sancho's chance to show what he can do at number 10. A lot of people started talking about this a few months ago, maybe even a year ago. And I was like, no. But I'm starting to come around to that idea. You said that as well, Mr. B, I'm sure.
I did, but you know what? I'm beginning to change my mind. I'm wondering if Sancho could be somebody who Ericsson could do without, who Ten Hag could do without in the squad. Because if you look at Garnacho, we're gonna buy a striker, which means Rashford's gonna be locking down the left-hand side.
Okay.
His understudy is Garnacho. Okay. I believe in regards to the way that Ten Hag wants to play. We've got pace down the left now. Rashford comes up. We've still got pace down the left. Unless Sancho can prove in the rest of these games for this season, I'm not even sure he's going to have the opportunity to play the number 10 because as I said, Bruno doesn't get injured. Is he going to be that guy? I'm worried. I am worried. And then you look on the right-hand side, Anthony is number 1. We've got Ahmad, who's causing chaos at Sunderland, and we've got Pellistri. Where does Sancho play? The only position he can play on one day is number 10. He has to take the opportunity
Well, it's pressure drop on him then. If you're saying it like that, it's a good point. Good point. Fernandes will be a big miss, says Box. That's for sure. I think the Sancho talks going off in the comments. By the way, we're going to come to that. Stuart Marshall saying Sancho's run out of time. He's talking to bath time. Bill Badger saying Bruno's our tempo setter, captain, and Iron Man. Is that Iron Man or
Iron Man? Yeah.
Huge miss going forward. We got Spurs next. No panic. I wouldn't be saying that. I don't trust that result the other day. I think they'll be on it. Delano Francis, how you doing? He said Fred and Casemiro with Spitzer. Okay, yeah. No Ericsson, but okay, that's all right. I reckon Woodlands could give Spurs the game in a moment. Please stop saying this, guys. I don't be reading this out and having to go and play Spurs the other day, in the third day, and getting beat or something. Spitzer could do in a number 10 role. He can. So could Ericsson. I would assume it's going to be those two with Casemiro against Spurs. That's from Emma. Montreal's saying Ericsson's number 10, Fred 8, and Casemiro 6. Sabitzer as the man to replace Ericsson later in the second half if he's tired. Okay, so a little rotation there with the subs. Stuart Marshall saying Casemiro, Fred, and Ericsson for me. Vincent saying I'm glad that I didn't put Fred in over Ericsson because Fred, has been very good on penalties. Is he saying Fred's been good at penalties? But it could have been worse. Could have put Brandon Williams on. Okay, bath time saying if you're playing Casemiro, you have to have Fred for the legs.
He's calling him a pudding.
Puddings, yeah. I love that word. Football United, Matty saying we should look at our background staff this summer and get the best to recruit players, especially from South American market. Okay. How did you think McAllister did yesterday while I'm doing these comments?
Do you know what?
Because we did a show about McAllister the other day, and everyone said, "Oh yeah, 50 million." McAllister that. I thought he's okay. I thought he's all right actually.
Just okay. Caicedo's the one who he's the one who I think if we're gonna buy somebody, buy him. He looks like he's ready to go, man.
Yeah.
He impressed me with McAllister. I think we've just like a much of a muchness. Just I don't know if he's gonna be. I don't know. I don't know if
he played in a pivot and then he played as a 10 later on when the guy got subbed. So we had a good chance to look at him, and he didn't do anything wrong. But is he dynamic enough? I don't know.
He doesn't excite me.
We looked. Fred will be off in the summer, says Stuart Marshall. Santanoch saying Bruno was a big miss in Spain against Sevilla. They were up for it, and in that game, and everyone struggled. Ericsson and Fred, and could rotate positions versus Spurs. So that's from Santanoch. Bartha saying if you play Casemiro, Ericsson, and Sabitzer, Casemiro will get booked, sent off because he doesn't have to run in from Bruno. Fred has to come in. Okay, Samuel here. How you doing, Samuel? Said Eric Ten Hag should play Kobe, Manu, Zidane Iqbal in the Man United midfield. Okay, that's good. I like the players.
Listen. In 3 years' time, that could well be.
Yeah.
But right now, that's not even getting in the reserve team.
Box saying happy, saying can't keep going back to Fred. Montreal saying I'm cashing in on Casemiro Fred partnership from Brazil for this one. Matty saying I think Sancho is done, won't adapt to the Premier League. Oh dear. And our Brazilians have some of the worst pass completions for midfielders in the Premier League. Fred and Casemiro might not keep the ball well enough, to be honest. Oh my God, they're all coming in with the comments now. I'll catch up soon on you guys. Keep them coming. Mr. B, over to you.
What am I reading them?
Oh no, sorry.
No.
So Box is saying here, McAllister upgrade on Donny van de Beek and Fred. So
I forgot completely about Donny.
Yep.
Bloody hell.
Didn't Fred have an absolute storm against Spurs at Old Trafford this season? I can't recall that game. We beat the 2-1, didn't we? I think.
Was it 3-1?
Beat them. Montreal saying Salcido is better fit for our midfield for immediate needs. What we're saying here. We turned down Salcido for 5 million. Again, the recruitment issues. Yeah, we certainly did. And Sancho not needed. We got Garnacho. Big talk yesterday. He could be off unless he does something quick. Interested in that. And top. The good thing is we only need a few more points to guarantee top 4. Hoping we get players to have a good rest as well. And Ahmad only lasts 65 minutes. At Sunderland, Mr. B is probably not ready for the league yet. So there you go. Look, let's move on because I asked the question about the guy McAllister because we did a show about him last week, but I don't. By the lack of comments, I don't think anyone was too impressed. They're talking about Salcido, but yeah. So just to finalise, who I think Fred, Ericsson, and Casemiro. would be the three for Spurs.
You could be right because Fred plays well with Casemiro. He does. I'm going to give him that. But I see Sabitzer as a better footballer than Fred. Everything Sabitzer does to me is better than what Fred can do.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure Sabitzer. It's the position that he's going to be playing Sabitzer in is more the issue. Because if Eriksen plays, I'm going to assume that Eriksen will be playing as the 10 and Fred would be beside Casemiro. Whereas if he plays Sabitzer, I think he's more likely to play Sabitzer as the number 10.
Right.
Instead of Eriksen. That's the conundrum.
The other day he was playing Casemiro deep, not in a pivot, on his own, with two guys ahead of him, which was Bruno and Eriksen, kind of slightly ahead. And they were really trying to play quite narrow, high up the pitch, to sort of close them down, which was really unsuccessful. Brighton really played out of our press quite easily.
Did you see it? Did you see how much times they played out of the press yesterday?
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, we don't have players who want to press in our team. Martial doesn't want to press. Rashford doesn't want to press. You can see it they're doing it because they have to do it, not because it's in their nature. V-Course will run and press all day. He just doesn't have the ability. So we need players who have that in their like they have that in their makeup. That's what they do. That's their job. That's their specific. Because right now, I still think there's a lot of things that probably could be changed in the team. To be fair.
Can we say a big hello to the man who went to the game yesterday? I saw his social media today. Shah went to the game, had really good seats as well. Hope you enjoyed your day out at Wembley. Shah, your hometown, almost your hometown. You're back in Harrow. We need another replacement sub for Bruno, who's saying. How do you replace Bruno? That's the thing. Stuart Marshall's saying here, Sabitzer sub at best. Martha said Sabitzer plays like Forrest Gump. He just runs a straight line until someone tells him to stop. There you go. Well, listen, this Bruno thing about the ankle, if it's a knock on the ankle, surely there's love. You can get an injection or something. I remember Maradona in the 86 World Cup. He played the whole tournament with a dodgy ankle, with a bruised ankle.
He was probably high on coke as well, though.
Like some anti-inflammatory on that, and it was dealt with. He managed to get through.
He probably had other things, bits and pieces going on,
Right,
so
right.
So I mean, do they still take it? Do players take it? Do they still take them cortisone injections and stuff like that? Do they?
I'm sure they do. They must do. I mean,
I don't know. I wouldn't want to risk him for more. And as I said, somebody in here said, "Oh, it's only Spurs." I'm like you on Monday. We can't be going. We're playing away from home, and we have been crap. Spurs, yes. Spurs have been worse, but away from home, we're not great. We're not great. So I think we need to get this one right. To be fair,
it's good in a way because that extra time and zapping pitch playing at Wembley it's just energy draining. So Thursdays, thankfully, is the day we're playing. There's games on tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday. I mean, it's really going to be busy. And there's a lot to play for. I think, obviously, the title challenge, the top two are playing each other. And we're playing, like, it's fourth against fifth, as in us against Spurs. It's going to be really tight. If Spurs beat us, they're back in it. That's how, you have to look at that. Because we got to play Villa. Villa, the form team of the weekend. That's who I'm worried about as well. So it's another massive week. Every week seems to be massive weeks with Man United right now, isn't it? I remember the Barcelona game, and then Casemiro's out, and every week it's like game after game after
doesn't
game.
stop.
I'm really
but this is good. Yeah, it's about time. Look, under Ollie, we were sitting down there. We're playing. We've got them next week. We've got them now. We've got that. Jazz said, Ten Hag's brought my love back. I can sit here and I will say it. He's brought my love for Man United back. And long may it continue. But right, we have to beat Spurs, and I want him to get the that midfield conundrum right. We had loads of various options in the chat. Nobody mentioned Scott, which I'm absolutely delighted with bath time because I was expecting you to have dropped his name in the conversation at some point. So it looks like he's on his way out. Well done. We heard about the Iqbal and the May news. Hopefully we might see them at some stage this season. If we do Spurs, I just feel that just gotta do Spurs. We've just gotta do Spurs.
Well, just quickly on Spurs. Obviously, we're doing a preview, but they've got a new manager who's just been sacked again. We've heard that the interim manager has been sacked, possibly to do with the game yesterday. It's like, what is going on? I mean, it's really bad. Even Conte said the other day it's been 20 years, and the common factor is the same chairman. Basically, putting it all on the chairman to say they haven't won anything for so long. It's become a joke for Spurs, really. Spurs won't beat us. They're shite, says Stuart Marshall. Well, we say that, but come on. How do we beat them? Are they still playing a back five, which leaves them sort of slow counter attack, two-man in midfield, always Kane coming deep to get the ball? I mean, Kane's never really smashed it against us, I don't feel. It's always been dealt with in a way. I remember Harry Maguire having good games against him, just holding him and sort of being physical with him. It's not like he gets away from us and
Causes trouble.
I don't see. I can't remember. I know they beat us a few years ago by a big score, but yeah, I think we can. When I really look at it, I think we can manage them. It's their fullbacks which are supposed to be how they play, but their fullbacks aren't good enough.
Yeah, they're not good enough. I mean, on Monday, you're sitting here and you're talking about Harry Kane, and I'm seeing that look in your face of he better not come to our club. I don't like him. I don't rate him. It's not going to change for you, is it? It's not going to change your opinion on Harry Kane, is it?
What do you? I mean, look. If
I don't want him. I don't want him. I don't want him.
Why don't you want him?
Because he's 30 years old and he's been a star at Tottenham. He scored all of his goals for Tottenham. He'll probably come to us after he spent all of this money and get bloody injured.
Yeah,
that would just be our luck, and we're going to get screwed up. £100 million for somebody who's got 1 year left on their contract. We're going to get screwed again. This is the whole point. You know, do something else. Don't go for the press are dying for Harry Kane to come to Old Trafford. Oh, Bayern are interested, but he doesn't want to go to Bayern Munich. He doesn't want to leave the country.
He wants to get the Premiership record, doesn't he?
He wants to get the Premiership record. He's not guaranteed to win anything with us. He's guaranteed to win something with Bayern. You pull your pants down and flash your eyelids at Bayern, please. I don't want us to be in that £100 million on Monday. Yes, he's guaranteed 25 goals, but as a footballer, man, he
doesn't excite me.
Yeah.
Boxers remind us here, there was a game they smashed us 6-1. I think we had 10 men or something like that, but they did beat us badly. And that's the only time I can recall he's played well, maybe due to do with 10 men. Eric Dyer has the most passes completed in the Premier League history. Wow. Jim Mack saying, do you think Spurs last game and the fact that Kane is probably in open rebellion, that Spurs are suitably unsettled for the rest of the season? Really packed.
I hope so.
Kane is levels above most of the dross we have at the moment, says Box. Kane is coming, Mr. B. Big up to Rory, says, Soups, what's up, guys? How you doing, Rory? United Agenda, the case has dropped. You don't need to be... okay, that's something we're not going to talk about. You're off your head, Mr. B, if you don't think Harry Kane would be an incredible upgrade to our team. It's not that. We just think we don't like him, Miss Bath Time. Yeah, I don't know about many footballers. It just doesn't do it for me. I still want him.
That's my point. Bath Time, he will come and score goals. Harry Kane will come and score. He will score 25 goals a season. And I will sit down here and I will cheer those goals. But if we have the option to buy somebody who's going to give us a little bit more, then that's what I want us to go for.
And when you go, not dribble, it's someone with impact and like excitement and Harry
pace.
Harry Kane's not. I don't know. He obviously would do well. Shah's saying here, Kane is closest to Rooney in terms of a number 10. The wages here, talking about how much we're paying for De Gea and Sancho, who are not really favourites at the moment with the club. Sports Chris, how you doing? So Spurs can only get 71 points. They're out of the top 4 race. Brighton is the only real threat to our top 4 position because they can get 76 points.
See, these things. You see, when people do this is the part that frightens me. Remember was it last season? One of this where we said, oh, we're going to get this amount of points, and we had them Arsenal idiots on the show as well. We got slapped the next 6 games. We got them all completely wrong.
Yeah. Did we get something like 54 points last season? Was it something?
I think it was. Was it 58?
Oh, it's really bad.
Yeah.
I remember when we used to win the league, we were getting 80. 80 points was like, yeah, you got your title challenger. But now it's going up to 90. And that means you have to be consistently winning your games and thing. The problem we don't win away, and we're playing away at Spurs.
That's my worry.
Do you think they would have stayed down in London? Do you think they would have stayed down in London for this?
No.
They would have gone home.
Yeah, they'll go home. They'll go home. It's what is it? An hour and a half flight. So they jump on an aeroplane. They'll be all right.
Ivan Toney, Stuart Marshall's always talking about him. Talking about Osimhen from Napoli, who looked like they're running away with Serie A. And you should start going to circuses, Mr. B, if you want show ponies. Good one. Watch out for Liverpool scrapping fourth as well, says Box. Okay. All right. That's fair chat there.
Okay. Look, guys, we were in, we were out. On Monday, as always, man, a bloody pleasure.
Yeah, big up, Mr. B, and big up to everyone in the comments as well. And don't forget to check out the merchandise page where you can get your mugs in. I haven't seen anyone yet come with a picture of their mug. Order one. They're only £10 at the moment. Order one and get a picture of yourselves up. Or in my bath time, just put a picture of the mug up to prove that you bought one. Sports Chris, Box, Stuart Marshall. Stuart Marshall's got one already.
He's got his one.
Bill Badio's, Char United. Where are your mugs? Emma, where's your mug? Come on. Payday soon.
Guys. Oh, yo, heavy yourselves for the one day. Guys, we'll be back tomorrow. Oh, are we on at 7 tomorrow?
Yeah, it's gonna be hard though. I'm at work till 8, but yeah, the games are on, Premiership games. So when big games on like that, we tend to go at 7 p.m. So keep your eyes peeled, guys, because it's either 7 p.m. or 8:30. We'll get a show out somehow.
Guys, thanks for watching. See you all tomorrow. Cheers. We're gone. Bye.
Bye.